Woo-wee! June was a juicy and jam-packed month. Well, that's it for our review for the month of June. If you enjoy the conversations and we're getting into it, check out the link in the description below, and we'll see you in the next video.
This seems like it's okay, and all we feel is day to day, we're on replay. And all these dreams, well, life's made, are leaving other people that we love, so slow down.
This was the time when Andrew was like dating and like bringing girls back. This was the point where Andrew was like, hey, this is the first time he started dating. He was like, hey, Lewis, like, you're my roommate, but I'm gonna have girls over. When I bring girls over, I'm gonna ask you to like stay in the guest room, or like, yeah, just not in my room. Like, you would have to go into your own room.
I was just like, can you find something else?
Can you like get a hotel, or like not kick me out of my own room kind of thing. Everyone else in the house, like all these guests and everybody had the same experience in college where...
Well, not everybody. A lot of the guys.
A lot of the guys had all agreed that that's a common like college experience to be sexile. We all felt that like Lewis should have upholded like the bro code and be like,
is that a bro code thing? If he was doing it when I wasn't in the room, I think I would be okay with that. If I wasn't being kicked out, like I was trying to go to sleep or something. Yeah.
And you're asking me,
how do you?
Yeah. How do you feel about
like,
that?
Let's say you had a roommate in college.
It's not even in college, right now.
Yeah, right now.
Yeah.
I get out of the room and let him bust. Because I mean, you know, the situation where I came over for a vacation, and you know, it was us three in that room.
Who three?
It was me, you, Andrew, us four.
Oh yeah.
And I woke up.
She was in there.
Is this too much?
No.
And I woke up and I'm like, Andrew's looking directly in my face, and you know, his girl's in there, and I was like, damn, am I cock blocking right now by existing? Because I know we're all crammed in this room. So that's where I just worked my way out of I just left that room and just stopped staying with you. I was like, I'll just stay in the living room. Yeah, I mean, I haven't had that experience in college.
Does that make you feel bad?
It makes me feel guilty that I'm cock blocking. Yeah.
But I think in that scenario there is a difference because like you're a visiting guest.
Yeah,
like,
I'm visiting guest.
That's like Lewis feels like that's his room, and like he has music set up in there.
Right. But if we're talking, like just give me some time in advance. Hey, I'm gonna take set this time to later pipe. It's like, go ahead, do your thing, and I'll get out.
And there were situations that he did reach out, and I was okay with it.
Yeah, but if you pop up out of the blue with Susie Q, and you expect me to get the blue out of there, like
we came to a point where if he just let me know in advance, there wasn't a time that I said no.
I don't think that was the case.
You're like a strong believer in this.
Oh yeah, because you have to think about like what would you want like in that situation. Like if I had a roommate and I really wanted to bring someone over, really want my privacy. Yeah. And here's the thing, like also like you're super lucky, dude. You had a whole other room you could have. Your own private room and your own bathroom. It should have been like, to me, I was like, that's a no-brainer.
You hold the contrary opinion on that one. I would have.
I don't know. It's just,
I get the fuck out.
I don't know. In my experience, because I was just telling you, there are times that I have done that to somebody, and I felt that the guy felt like uncomfortable. So he left, and it's just like, am I just not going to consider this other person? For me, like I would do my best as the roommate of the guy to be like as accommodating to him.
I agree with that. But if
because my relationship with this guy is more important than like, oh, you just want to get some. So for me, it's like the mentality is like I'm trying to be more considerate to the person more than my own sexual urges.
I agree with both sides.
And so for me, in my experience, I've tried not to do that to people, or just let them know like way in advance, or not even. For me, I just find other ways to do it, like find my own privacy
in the car.
Yeah,
that's a cramped space, dude.
Yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I don't want to do that to like my friend.
So that in a way, that's like saying let's just both suffer. Because like you and your roommate, let's say like, oh, we're never just gonna put each other in a situation where we can have our own privacy and have our girl like be here with just like by ourselves. Because like in the case that like Joe had come over, what did you want?
And he did that, exactly. and I thought it was really nice. And I think there was time. Like definitely when I first came here, I was just more on guard in general because of like the context of the situation. Like we were 5 strangers coming to a place. So I just wanted to be like more protective of my boundaries and what is like okay. I just didn't want to be like stepped on.
Yeah.
In that situation where I don't know. Do you think that's wrong? Like the fact that he's sponsoring me means that he can do whatever he wants.
No, I mean he I think his requests were reasonable, and I think him asking you in advance was like considerate.
Yeah.
And I think him sponsoring you is like something that's like I would be like in your shoes very appreciative and like more willing to like hear him out. And I think just us all having that experience, it was just like a common like, okay, yeah, I get it. Like I would definitely like when you're saying like you want to be closer with your buddy and like and do something like to be closer with them or like be better friends, like that for me I would have saw that as like hell yeah, like I want you to experience this.
Yeah.
This is my way of like
I can see that too. I can see that too.
Yeah.
I think we just kind of got off on the wrong foot. And so like when it started being like more okay, there was still just like it's definitely a pretty unique experience, like situation.
Yeah. I feel like we talk so much about like Andrew and stuff. I feel like we should just address the elephant in the room and just talk about how we're like more than half a year and it's been like 2 months since Andrew's been in the video.
Sure, you can talk about it. I'm fine to talk about it.
Yeah.
I've been fine to talk about it.
I know. All right.
Why is it so weird? Because to the audience it's weird?
We've already spent so much... dude, we're like almost an hour of talking. There's like so much in this video. So,
yeah,
like,
there is.
I do want to address it since like it's kind of the elephant in the room here. But yeah.
For context, yeah.
But we'll do like a separate video. But yeah, just for context, Andrew has moved out for several months now, and we'll do a separate video about it. Yeah, disclaimer, this is an older video from June of 2021, and at this point, in the present day, Andrew has already moved out of the house for a couple months. This is his replacement.
I won't be a part of this.
Yeah, what are your final thoughts on that whole situation? Because there were times that he did let me know, and I was like, sure.
Just communication, depending on what the other person wants.
Yeah.
If they're unwielding and unyielding to let someone come in, then I'll find a way to bust one outside of the room or whatever I'm gonna do with that person.
I could also just see like the other like Andrew's shoes where like he is paying for the whole room and it's like it could be really upsetting to like knowing that like he can't even have privacy in his room. I think that was like one of the biggest things that was the most frustrating.
And there was a turning point where I said like you can just do whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, whatever you need to do to be comfortable, like just do it. Just let me know if you want like days that you have just to yourself, then you can do anything. And he was just like, for some reason, he was like against that. Or he was like, I can't do that to you. I was like, do it.
Because I think you both were trying to be very accommodating of each other in your own ways.
Yeah. It was so weird.
Yeah.
At the end of it, while he was leaving, he was like, I wish there was something we could have done to be more comfortable. And I was literally saying, just do whatever you want. He was like, I can't do it. Yeah. He was still saying that.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It seems like in that situation, I don't know, if I was in your shoes, just me like not wanting to cause trouble, I would do the things that I know he wants. I would get out of the way. I would give him his space. I wouldn't say like I can give you your space. I would just do it, and then he would just appreciate it. I don't know, from his standpoint, I can see, I don't want to do that to you, and then you have that conflict, but he wants it.
Yeah, this is actually like almost the same conversation that we had in that. Remember that fight not the fight, but the argument, like the altercation that we had? I just watched it like yesterday.
Wait, that was recorded?
Yeah. But we didn't record the resolution, so it just looks like we ended like beside each other.
Yeah.
But like we had that conversation, and I think that was the problem. Is that like Lewis like couldn't read his mind and like know exactly what he wanted. He wanted to just be explicitly told to him, and we were all just like, I think that's where we got kind of like how the whole altercation started. We were like, dude, just like read his mind, like just know what he wants, just do it.
I mean, we talked about it before, but for context for you, that stuff that I had to deal a lot with, like that whole situation of like being kind of not having the conflict resolved directly with the two people that need the conflict, like that need to be there, like talking to Marco about it. And Marco has expressed his own pains with being like a middleman in terms of communication, but it was just like not effective.
Yeah.
It's just not a healthy way to be.
No, and we all acknowledge like there's definitely clearly one end that was not communicating, and that was like the main source of the problem. And we were trying to circumvent that and try to fix the problem without actually working on the main thing.
And I think for me, it was more like if I have to read this guy's mind, then I just kind of don't want to be here. Because that's really, it's just not worth it for me.
Yeah.
I'd rather just figure things out and live in a healthy way.
More of the story, if you're ever going to have a roommate or even housemates, communication is always key.
But I don't know, if you guys told me just fake it to keep the sponsorship, then, you know, maybe I would consider that, because in that moment I was just thinking more about like the quality of my life.
Fake what? What would you have faked?
I don't know, just put up with the bullshit just for the money and the space.
So are you saying that because you weren't considering the money and the space at the time?
I mean,
because I think that's one thing that also really bothered Andrew, was like he probably saw like you like not recognizing how privileged and like lucky you were.
I mean, I can do what I'm doing here back in New Jersey too, which was also a weird thing, which is like I came here to meet good people and to do things with good people, and he was one of those people that we promised a lot of stuff together, but we weren't doing anything together, and he was being toxic. So the fact that he was putting money into me to just give me the space, like that's all he was doing. And like I have a space back at home where I can do all that, and I would have good people. So it's like, what is the value of this? And
ooh, that hurts me a little bit. Because I do value this community. I feel like being here provides a lot of opportunity.
Well, I'm saying that in terms of like in that time, that was the case. Because he was my roommate and my sponsor. So he was like the anchor for me in this place, which wasn't ideal in a way that like I did appreciate it. And I think that having a place to live is important, but like he wasn't paying me. Like he was quite literally just giving me a space to live that like we were already having issues with. So it was like, and like the dynamic between us was not very good. Not a lot of productive stuff was happening. So that's like stuff that I was thinking about. Like I could just be on my own and just not deal with any of this stuff. And
some real economics opportunity cost thing. I could be doing this, or I could deal with
I don't know. Is that fucked up?
No,
that's fucked up.
It shows the mind frame that you had.
I mean, I still think about those things too. But
recently you were just talking about like I'm just gonna go back to New Jersey.
That's been a real consideration. You know, like when I went to LA and I got my shit stolen. And I'm just trying out here. It's like I don't have to deal with any of this, and I could just work on stuff on my own and try to make it like that. So I wouldn't give up on that part, but that was just like another consideration, just because like a lot of my time is being swallowed up by like all of these things that maybe just right now that's not for me, because like I am really bad at social media, and maybe that is something that you guys can help me with, but maybe it's not. Maybe I just need to sit down and lock myself in my room like Tiffany did for 2 years and get good at it. Maybe that is the way, but maybe it's not. And me being here kind of speaks to that I do want to keep trying with this place and to keep improving and stuff like that. Which is why with like, even we spoke this morning about like the value of the room and like me putting in work is like, I would want to do as much of my own work and add that to the community. Because like the reason why Tiffany and T are so valuable is because they can sustain themselves. And then anything that they do is a plus that they're doing for the house. And I'm just not me. Well,
not as well. Keep going.
You too. You're doing great. You're paying for the place. You have a job. You're making great content.
No, I'm just joking.
But for me, it's not even like that, which is why like maybe it's just I'm just like not ready, and maybe this was just like a good taste of it. You know, like I wouldn't take it in like a negative way now. But back then, I might have taken it more in a negative way. Where it was like it was just not a good situation. But now it's like, I mean, you have been very understanding, and I've expressed that I appreciate it, and things are good. It's just a lot of work to try to upkeep everything, which is fine. It's good.
It's fine.
I appreciate the. It's fine.
Any thoughts, Theo?
You said that makes you feel bad though?
No, I was just kidding. I was making a joke, but like just the words. If you just take the words at face value, it's like, oh, I don't see any additional value here. Like I could just be at home doing the same thing. And like I feel like I'm an opportunist, so even if things aren't going my way, I would have been like, okay, what can I do to make this opportunity better? Because like we did have like a guest room, and like if I were in that position, I would have been like, I can't live with Andrew anymore. Like Marco, what can we do? Like I would always try to like find a solution. And it's like even with like Charles, where I feel like your initial like first instinctual reaction is like, how do I protect myself? Okay, I might need to go home, or I might need to find like an Airbnb. But like in my mind, I already had all these other different like solutions that could have been like better than just like
what?
Walking away.
Well, that's something from that experience that I've definitely taken, which is why
because we talked about Charles already. Where like Ben has a place, like we could figure something out where like we just talk to Charles. I think because like we were just making a lot of assumptions of like, if Charles were to live here, Lewis's lifestyle, like quality of life, would go down significantly. I think that was like the assumption that everyone operated under, and like,
I mean, it's not too wrong.
Yeah, but like
that was my assumption as well.
Yeah,
I was like, hold on, wait, what? There's only so many rooms.
Yeah, but like the other thing is like you're also like there's so many like I presented a couple options already.
Yeah, I'm not saying that you haven't.
Right, but like I'm just thinking like in my position, like I would have tried to talk those out first, rather than just assume like, oh, everything's gonna go to shit now.
Well, I didn't just when I was communicating to you, I was trying to say that I just want to be aware of that possibility because like in the past they kind of did go to shit. Yeah. And for me, it was just like try to find those different options. And when you said like Ben's place or like whatever, like I think those are good. Those could work. Yeah. But when I communicated that, I wasn't doing that in any kind of like threatening way. It was just like like real shit. Like it just might not be good. Like it just like might not work.
No, I know, I get that, but like I just feel like there are other things to like consider rather than just like immediately thinking of I'm just gonna abandon and like walk away.
That wasn't my initial impression of that.
Yeah, no, I know, but like it definitely had.
But you got that
hints.
vibe.
I got hints of it where it's like, oh man, maybe I'm not like valued here. Maybe I should just like go home. Like I got that hint of that. Like
yes. Kick them out.
Anyway, I don't know. Regardless, like I think we're just very different people, and like I see things so differently.
What?
Well, not just from us. I see things differently from everybody. So like, I never like I don't. Anytime like something doesn't go my way, I don't see it as like a bad thing. Like I think of like other opportunities. Because I'm an opportunist. I'm never like in my head of like, oh man, like this is like could be potentially bad for me. Because like here's my honest like perspective. Like if I were in your shoes, I'd be like, I would be happy to like live in the living room or like try to figure something out. Like I think there's gonna be ways we can make this work, and it's temporary. It's only 3 months. If I don't like it, I'll consider other options. Yeah, like a last resort. Yeah, and I think you presented those as your last resort. Yeah. Like going back home or Airbnb. But like I feel like not everyone considers like the whole breadth of like potential solutions. With Ben like having that extra opportunity, or even just like having a conversation, sitting down with Charles and like figuring out like some other solution that would work for both of you. Nobody like considered like, okay, we need to talk this out first. It was all kind of just like kind of hectic, like, oh shit, like.
Well, that's why I tried talking to you about it, and that's when I voiced those things in because I was concerned.
There's like that one TikTok that I think T or Tiffany sent maybe like 2 weeks ago, where it was saying like something along those lines of like, it's like one of those mental health TikToks, and the caption was something like, you're not expecting, or like instead of expecting so much, you should just like communicate basically.
Yeah. I think we have like such high expectations for other people based on like what we already like the way we operate, but like no one is at the same level as you. Like no one has the same experiences as you. If you think something is the right thing to do, then like there's no guarantee other people are gonna feel the same way. It's like it's a very low chance. So I feel like communication is just the best way to get everyone on the same level. But around the same time, they had I kind of wish I handled things differently. I think I wish I didn't speak up for other people. Like I wish I found some other way, because I mean I guess it's a fine. Like to me, I remember in the moment when I was like talking to or confronting certain people about those things, I was like, oh, it's fine. Like they either take the feedback and respond nicely and everything works out and we'll work on it, or they don't and then they walk away and that's totally fine. Like I basically pushed away Kevin Tang and Mark Aurelius. He was like the first guy that was like interested in like video editing. I like talked to them both about like my honest opinions. I feel like, hey, I think you might be making people feel uncomfortable in these certain areas. and they both took it very personally. And when they both like walked away from that, I was like, that's fine. Like they're unable to take like constructive feedback. That's fine. They're working on their own selves. If they ever decide to come back, then that's on them. But like I don't feel bad that I pushed them away. But in a sense, I also wish like other people could also like learn to speak up for themselves. Like I think I wasn't here, and Kevin Tang came to visit the house and with Alika, and other people were like, oh, I really don't like Kevin's vibes. I think it was like Andrew that was saying like oh man, like I don't feel comfortable with him being around here. And I texted Kevin, I was like, hey, I wasn't here, but I heard like from other people that like there are certain ways that we speak to other people that could be problematic, and I know that you came from like a different background and like in LA and stuff like that, but here like we're trying to keep it at a certain kind of tone or whatever, and I just told him like, hey, just be mindful of that. And he's like, I don't think I did anything wrong, and like what the fuck. And then he started telling everybody that like I don't like Marco's vibes and stuff like that. I'm like, it wasn't even me, like I'm just relaying what I heard. So that's kind of annoying. That's the consequence of like speaking up for others, is like you get shot as like the messenger.
I feel that, man.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah. People could just like speak up for themselves and also learn to take criticism in a positive way. Because like I was
it's difficult. That's difficult. Is that something that moving forward that you're gonna try to encourage people to do instead as like a new course of action in those situations?
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't happened a lot recently. Like I haven't had to speak up for other people.
Or do you find as like kind of the head of the community that you will still have to find times that you'll have to do that?
Maybe, it depends. I think if it's like interpersonal, I would encourage everyone to speak up for themselves. Yeah. Those are interesting times.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's something that even we went through with stuff with Andrew when we were like, I mean, everyone had concerns about it, and then we had that house meeting where we're all here except him. Yeah. So it's like we're all literally being like those middlemen. Yeah. Just speaking on behalf of others. Yeah. It was not that not that good until on the end.
I guess that's the moral of the story, is like you can't speak up for other people. Like I don't know what you think about that.
I agree. I mean,
like we were both coming from opposite ends, like speaking on behalf of Andrew. And that didn't work out at all.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, maybe we just shouldn't even have gone so deep in that conversation. Just acknowledge like, okay, we need to talk to Andrew.
And then it ended up happening that was the case, and a lot of stuff happened after that because we were able to talk to him instead. I think that's a pretty valuable lesson. Feel free to put this in or not too, but back at home and with my family, things were tense between So I live with my mom and my grandma, and they don't speak to each other, but we also lived in the same under the same roof. Right. So they would always use me to talk. Yeah. And what my brothers did was they kind of just like tuned out. Then I was like hyper involved in that communication. Yeah. So I was literally like always the middleman. Right. And I was always getting shot by both of them. Yeah. And it was just like awful. When that happened, I was just like really sad.
Yeah. You got triggered by it?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I don't know if there was footage of it or anything, but Mimi was there. Yeah. And earlier in the day, I was just telling her about that stuff, and then she made that connection, and then she was like heartbroken. She was like, "This is literally happening here." Yeah. When you came here to try to avoid that stuff. Yeah. And that's what I thought Mimi was pretty cool.
Having Mimi there.
That was definitely
was clutch.
Yeah. And it kind of showed where everybody was at, because she was trying to be constructive with Andrew too, and he just kind of rejected it.
Yeah, we had some early house drama.
This is real house drama. Yeah, for sure. This is house drama. This is real life. Yeah. There are ugly parts.
I have clips from that meeting where we got super heated.
Oh man. Yeah. I wonder if we'll ever put out a video with that.
Yeah. I feel like I kind of want to clickbaity, like not clickbaity, but like for dramatic reasons, just show the clip where like you're about to storm out. Yeah. That was like the peak of the emotional confrontation.
That would be something. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about it because it was intense.
It was very intense.
All right.
I mean, it didn't make it real for me until like you were ready to like walk away. I was like, whoa. I've never I don't really have those kind of conversations where like ready, like I don't see that often. Like people just willing to like walk away. Like I didn't know that you were getting that heated.
Oh yeah, I mean
yeah, because like it's funny because like you're also making jokes, but like it's hard for me to tell that like
I float between serious and lighthearted when things are serious. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah. I think it just makes it more fun. Yeah, but also
your jokes are getting like a lot more savage the more angry you were.
I don't know. Because when you're so I don't know.
Oh jeez. Okay.
I find that those times are the best times to be lighthearted. Yeah. When things are serious.
Oh. I saw that. What about my lap? What is my lap not good enough? He's climbed on Tiffany's lap and your lap, but not my lap. Yeah, whatever, Theo. What are you doing?
This cat knows when people are working.
Yeah. Oh, you want to climb on my lap now?
This stinking cat. We're gonna have like Theo. What are they called? Like outros.
Yeah.
Or like
this could be the
Theo
outro.
cuts. The Theo cuts.